Dr. Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist, is here now. Derrell, let's dive right in and talk about how the markets are shaping up so far in the new year.
You know, we're continuing to see cattle prices strengthen across the board. Feeder cattle markets continue to move higher. Fed cattle markets are kind of grinding their way higher, a little bit slower, but they are moving higher. So the momentum that we saw at the end of last year is certainly continuing into 2023.
And how about supply and demand? Is that shaping up like you expected it would?
You know, the market fundamentals, I think, are coming around to what we expected. Beef production so far this year is falling. Remember, we had record beef production last year. It is going to fall this year, and we are seeing that now. Cattle slaughter per se is actually about even with a year ago thus far this year, but carcass weights are down. As we go forward, the slaughter numbers will continue to fall, and so we'll see these things tighten up. At the same time, we continue to see very strong demand fundamentals or demand situation. Box beef markets are actually moving higher pretty nicely in the last couple of weeks.
Then the latest cattle on feed report, what did that show?
Again, it sort of emphasizes those stronger fundamentals. The cattle on feed inventory for February 1st was down about 4%. Placements were down about 4%, so that means going forward we will continue to see these feedlot inventories tighten up, and that leads to tighter or less beef production as we move ahead.
Now, we've seen a lot of liquidation. Do you think that volume of liquidation is over for now?
Well, obviously, we don't know how the drought's going to shape up for the rest of the year, so the drought may force some additional liquidation. Assuming that drought doesn't do that, then the question is, what could the industry do if we really don't have to liquidate? I think we probably are likely to continue to see a little bit of liquidation just because of the number situation that we're in right now. The replacement heifer inventory that we start the year with is so tight that when you sort of crunch the numbers, it looks like it would be very likely that we'll continue to see a little bit of herd liquidation in 2023 under the best of circumstances.
So for the next few months, what are you kind of keeping an eye on, and how are you guiding producers?
Well, again, producers that are still caught up in the drought are very much on the defensive still, so we got to get through the winter first. A lot of guys are still scrambling for hay supplies to get through the winter. We have seen some improvement in conditions, maybe wheat pastures in a little better shape for some producers, but we're sort of waiting and trying to get to spring and then waiting to see what the spring conditions bring. Obviously, with the market fundamentals that we have, there's a lot of expectation for opportunities going forward, but producers have to, get through the drought, think about rebuilding, but also think about sort of managing their forage resources and giving them time to recover from the drought as we go through this year and beyond.
Let's hope for plenty of rain this spring. My goodness, we really need it.
That's for sure.
Okay, Derrell, thanks a lot.
You
We'll
bet.
see you next time.